given today by the Supreme Court. In a big relief for Shinde government, the Supreme Court declared that status quo ante cannot be restored anymore, as Uddhav Thackeray resigned voluntarily and therefore his government can't be brought back. But the court recognized that both the then Maharashtra governor and speaker did not act in the correct manner. In an indictment of the governor's actions, the court said he had no objective material to doubt confidence, to have any doubt on Uddhav's government, as it was an internal party issue. On the speaker's role, court said the decision to recognize Bhagat backed by the Shinde group as the chief whip was illegal, but left it to the speaker now to decide on the disqualification of the 16 MLAs of the Shinde camp who had defied original party whip. Both the factions of the Shiv Sena have welcomed the apex court's verdict. This is why I said there's something for both sides. The Uddhav camp demanded that Chief Minister Shinde should resign on moral grounds. But on the other side, the Shinde camp claimed that the Supreme Court verdict proves that their government is legitimate. So who comes out looking better from this verdict? We'll take that question to our guests in just a bit. Take a look at the key takeaways from the verdict though. First, Eknath Shinde-led Maharashtra government stays for now. Takeaway 2, Uddhav government cannot be restored as Uddhav Thackeray himself voluntarily had quit before the floor test. Had the floor test been taken, had he lost, maybe the Supreme Court would have reversed the floor test judgment. Takeaway 3, Speaker to now decide on the disqualification of the MLAs. Takeaway 4, Speaker's decision to appoint Sena whip was illegal. And the court also said governor's actions weren't according to rule of law. In fact, one of the more fundamental things the court has decided upon is this, that a floor test inside assembly cannot be a medium to resolve what is an internal party dispute. This has naturally given ammunition to both sides, so Uddhav Thackeray now claims that Shinde Sarkar has been formed illegally, that they should quit. Shinde camp says the Supreme Court verdict proves that their government is legitimate. While Uddhav camp reminds that whip appointed by the Shinde faction is now deemed illegal, so all actions thereof seem to be illegal, Shinde camp says that Uddhav Thackeray himself resigned before a floor test because he knew he didn't have any majority. Now Uddhav Thackeray has demanded Shinde government should resign on moral grounds, but Shinde's BJP combined is saying that Uddhav Thackeray cannot preach them on morality. The big question we ask is, there is clearly a respite to the Shinde BJP combined because their government is not going anywhere. But is this judgment also a fillip, even if a moral one, to Uddhav Thackeray and the MVA partner?
आणि असं म्हटलंय की पॉलिटिकल पार्टीचं व्हिप ऍप्लिकेबल व्हायला पाहिजे. असं झाल्यानंतर पॉलिटिकल पार्टी नेमकी त्या क्षणी कोणत्या गट म्हणजे ती पॉलिटिकल पार्टी याला रेकग्नाइज करायला पाहिजे या संदर्भातला पण निर्णय विधानसभा अध्यक्षांनी घ्यावा.
जैसे सर्वोच्च न्यायालय ने कहा कि अगर मैं रिजाइन नहीं करता, मैं इस्तीफा नहीं देता तो शायद वो मैं वापस मुख्यमंत्री बन जाता. मैं मेरे लिए नहीं लड़ रहा हूँ. मेरी लड़ाई जनता के लिए है, मेरे देश के लिए, मेरे राज्य के लिए है.
हम लोगों ने जो सरकार स्थापित किया है वो पूरी तरह से कानून और घटना इसका आदर करते हुए हम लोगों ने किया है. और जो जिनके पास बहुमत नहीं था उन्होंने रिजाइन किया है.
First up, I want to go across to Mahesh Jethmalani, senior advocate and BJP Rajya Sabha MP, someone who was the legal counsel for the Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde in this case. Mr. Jethmalani, thanks a lot for your time. Would it be fair to say that this victory may be a legal victory for you, but a moral defeat for the Shinde BJP combined?
No, why? I mean, I don't see why it's a moral defeat for the Shinde combine at all. Shinde, Fadnavis combine at all. I mean, ultimately, politics is about attaining power and retaining it. And the final, in a democratic form of government, that person which enjoys the majority of the House is the Chief Minister. The most moral principle in this whole situation is who commands the majority. I would say that it was immoral of the other side to cling on to power when they had lost the majority by a process of disqualification, which was completely unwarranted.
But the court is
and
saying...
And the manner in which that disqualification was thought to be steamrolled is to be strongly condemned.
But the court today very categorically has said...
if anything...
Yes?
Sorry?
No, go ahead. Finish.
Go on.
No, I'm saying that the reason I ask you that question is because the court has categorically said both on account of the speaker's actions and the governor's actions, they were wrong. They were not in accordance with the rule of law. In fact, the decision on the chief whip was illegal is what the court has said today. So everything that came after that, the fact that Uddhav Thackeray resigned voluntarily, even the court said that they can't do anything because of that. But every action that followed because of the speaker and the governor, the court has frowned upon it.
Which speaker are we talking about?
The Maharashtra speaker, sir, Rahul Narvekar.
Which speaker?
Who recognized Bhagat Gogavale as the chief whip.
Rahul Narvekar came after that. He was a new speaker that, see, for one thing, Rahul Narvekar was a speaker who came in because there was a vacuum. There was never a speaker in this case in the first place. When a new government assumes power, the constitution mandates that you elect a new speaker. He was elected. What did he do wrong?
The fact that one second, I'll tell you, the fact that Bhagat Gogavale, backed by the Shinde camp, was appointed as the chief whip, the court said that decision was illegal.
All right, so it was illegal, but what was the impact of that on the outcome of this case? And nothing has happened. Neither Gogavale nor anybody else has taken any decision pursuant to being recognized as a whip.
What about the fact...
It's not immoral. I mean, the speaker, if the speaker has wrongly recognized somebody as the chief whip, it's not an immoral decision. It may be an incorrect decision. And nothing has, and there's no act of Gogavale or anybody else that has prejudiced Uddhav Thackeray and his minority faction in the Shiv Sena.
But the court also today said, Mahesh Jetmalani, that deciding an internal party dispute on the basis of a floor test was in itself inaccurate or incorrect. And therefore, that brings into question the governor's role, that you cannot decide an internal dispute like this. The governor had no objective material to decide that Uddhav Thackeray had lost majority. And obviously, we know Uddhav Thackeray, politically speaking, resigned because he didn't want to go through the floor test.
Yes. So it's all right. So what they're saying is that the governor acted immorally, right? Is that the case of everybody? That the governor acted immorally? I don't know. The Supreme Court hasn't used the word immoral.
They've not used the word immoral. That's why I'm not saying so.
Given by the other side now. Yeah. So the other side is saying that this is the action was immoral. No, the governor had certain material before him, right? He thought that the chief minister, based on that material, had lost his majority in the House, right? And he called for a floor test. Now, the court has disagreed with that and said he didn't have enough material. But nobody can say the governor was immoral or acted malafide.
But that's exactly...
All right, he acted incorrectly. And by the way, on that issue, I respectfully disagree with the governor, with the Supreme Court. I personally believe, in all humility, that the governor had enough material to show that the Uddhav government had lost its majority, and that fact was confirmed by subsequent events. Not only did Uddhav Thackeray not face the floor test because he had lost his majority, but when the new government faced a vote of confidence, right, it won by even more numbers than the MLAs which was sought to be disqualified in unseemly haste by the previous speaker.
I'll come to the decision that has been left to the speaker now on the disqualification. But I do want to say that that's precisely the charge. You're also a BJP MP. Precisely the charge against the BJP-Shinde combine here is that they steamrolled the processes and propriety in making their government. that governors are acting in cahoots with the BJP in states where, you know, it's favorable to them?
1 minute. Shivani, this is a completely misconceived argument, right? And unfortunately, it stems from some observations which were read out in court today, right? Not condemning anybody, but laying down guidelines for the future and holding certain decisions to be incorrect, right? Immorality in this, right? I mean, to be fair, the issue need not have been gone into at all on the governor's role in this matter, because it was irrelevant. Once the floor test was not faced by Uddhav Thackeray, what difference does it make whether the governor was right or he was wrong? In hindsight, he was established to be right. He was established to be right that Uddhav had lost his majority.
But
So
can I?
where is the question of the governor being wrong? I mean, the court is entitled to say that on the material it had before it, right? He should not have come to the conclusion that Uddhav had lost its majority. But you know, it's a difference of opinion. The governor is not a trained lawyer. A, B, and there was enough facts, in my respectful opinion, right? Very humbly, right? In my opinion, there was enough material for the governor. I mean, there was an onslaught against all these MLAs. They were not being allowed to come back to the city. They left because they knew they would be persecuted by the previous, by the Uddhav, the MVA government. That did happen. Offices were burnt, right?
But the court,
So
even
clearly,
on that,
there
said
was,
that the safety of the MLAs was not a justifiable reason.
For a government which, 1 minute, Shivani, for a government which had not lost, its majority, to indulge in those kind of actions was grossly immoral, according to me.
Okay, okay. I was just mentioning that the court even went into that issue, that the safety of the MLAs was not a justifiable reason to do what the governor did. But you've made your point. I want to, the reason I'm asking you is a political question. The court has not used the word moral or immoral. But because this political fight is ensuing now, you must have heard that Uddhav Thackeray is saying that your government is immoral, morally should not stand. How would you respond to that?
Sorry?
Uddhav Thackeray is saying that on moral grounds, Shinde and BJP government should resign.
Well, I mean, you know, please, when Uddhav Thackeray talks about morality, I want to remind him that only for the sake of the Chief Minister's chair, he gave up a pre-poll alliance with the BJP, on account of which he got the seats which he got to form a completely unholy majority with unholy government with allies who were ideologically opposed to him, whom he attacked during the course of the campaign and who attacked him during the campaign as well, and who are still attacking him. Today, Sharad Pawar says that he did not have the capacity to be a leader in his biography. So they're still attacking him. I don't know what morality we are talking about. Our sense of morality, my sense of morality and Uddhav Thackeray's sense of morality are completely different. You break a pre-poll alliance, you get your votes by invoking the Prime Minister and the then Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. You get all your votes because of them. Then you use that, you break your pre-poll alliance, and therefore you break the will of the people. You disobey the will of the people. The will of the people was for the BJP Sena government to come into power.
Okay.
You broke that pre-poll allegiance and went in with partners just to become the Chief Minister. That is immorality.
Okay. I just want to ask you a final question, Mahesh Jethmalani, on the issue of the disqualification of the 16 MLAs. That decision has been left to the Speaker. What's your thought over that?
Well, that should be the case. The decision is left to the Speaker, and the court has very rightly, I think, guidelines for the exercise of all constitutional authority, right? All constitutional authorities should be laid down, and the court has very wisely done that. I mean, the court, I welcome that they have laid down guidelines as to what the Speaker should take into account, whom we should recognize as the whip, what sort of timeline he should be following in disposing of these questions. That's all very salutary and welcome. My only grievance with the Supreme Court judgment today is one of on the governor's conduct, because I think there was enough material for the governor, and that's my only area of dispute. And I think that question need not have been gone into, given the fact that the floor test which he ordered, right, had nothing to do with the final outcome of the case.
Okay. Mahesh Jethmalani, I do appreciate you joining us. In some ways, a lot has been settled today, but there are some questions still persisting. I do thank you for your time. Let's also take this to our guest joining us for a debate. Let's go across to Nalin Kohli of the BJP joining us. Sanjay Gupta is Shiv Sena leader from the Uddhav Thackeray faction. Krishna Hegde is the Shiv Sena spokesperson from the Shinde faction. Let me go across to both the BJP-Shinde faction first. I repeat the question, Krishna Hegde, that it sounds like a moral defeat for you because the manner in which this government came to being, everything that preceded it, the crisis within the Shiv Sena, it seems to have gone the Uddhav Thackeray way today in court.
Shivani ji, I don't know how you are saying it has gone the Uddhav Thackeray way, because firstly, the Honorable Supreme Court has said Eknath Shinde will continue to remain the Chief Minister. Second, they said that the 16 MLAs, the disqualification rests at the hands of the Speaker. Third, they said that this government is going to stay. Fourth, they said that the symbol which we have got, the bow and arrow, the election commissioner decided on merit. Then they've said that this government is legal, it is constitutional, and it holds strength. I would say that it is a moral defeat for Uddhav Thackeray ji, because firstly, he was the one who came into a pre-poll alliance in 2009, evoking the name of Shri Narendra Modi ji, our Honorable Prime Minister, as the leader, and on the basis of Hindutva and with the ideology of Balasaheb Thackeray ji. It is he who deserted the Hindutva, where his father had categorically stated that जो दिन मुझे कांग्रेस के साथ हाथ मिलाना पड़े तो मैं मेरी दुकान बंद कर दूंगा.
Krishna ji, all of that is fine. Let's stick to the facts of this case. We know the background, and yes, that can be debated separately. But Nalin Kohli, when the court says the governor did not act in accordance to law, the speaker was incorrect when he recognized the new chief whip, does that not mean that the due processes were not followed?
I don't agree with you. Let me give a simpler example for your viewers. In criminal law, we say you are innocent unless pronounced guilty by a court of law. Now, the end of it, in the judgment, what matters is the final view. Is a person held to be guilty or not held to be guilty? If guilty, what is the punishment that follows? So I am unable to understand this line of questioning respectfully to you, that moral victory, moral defeat, what? Ultimately, there was a government headed by Mr. at that time Uddhav Thackeray. His government didn't have the numbers. He knew he didn't have the numbers. When he didn't have the numbers, he chose to resign. He wants now the court to do for him what he couldn't have done directly himself, which is stay on in government. And the court has clearly said, then you resign, so how do we hold the action of the governor incorrect? It, on the contrary, says the action of the governor with regard to the institution or the formation of the new government is correct, because the BJP had 106, Mr. Shinde and others were together.
Only so because Uddhav Thackeray resigned.
You are picking up the entire...
Only because Uddhav Thackeray resigned. For no other reason, the court said that this status quo ante cannot be restored.
1 minute. Hold, 1 minute. It's not about only. In law, that is the significant point with regard to his relief. In a normal discussion, you can have any discussion under the sun. We can refer to the Ved, Puran, to anything you wish. But in law, we'll have to go by finally what does the Constitution provide? How is that interpreted? And the Supreme Court, in its magnificent power of judicial review, how does it finally give relief at the end of it or deny it? In this case, Mr. Uddhav Thackeray has been denied relief. It's as plain and simple, as blunt as that. He is not to become the Chief Minister after this petition. He continues to be exactly where it is. Mr. Shinde is exactly where it is. He is as Chief Minister. The government is exactly where it is. Now let's go to the other issue, which is what you're talking about, moral. That is qua adjudication by the governor on a party issue. It is not on a government issue. And the Supreme Court essentially is saying, You needn't have got into that zone based on the materials that the Supreme Court has seen. Now let us come one by one. Ultimately, a governor who's a constitutional position, or the Honorable Supreme Court, which is a constitutional court, will look at the materials before it and then interpret it what a reasonable man with a reasonable approach would do. Now I look at it, and this is my point of view, that I look at it that there is a situation where the majority have walked away from Mr. Thackeray. Whatever they may say, Mr. Thackeray's continuation in the government without having the majority is an illegality on democracy.
Okay.
Can a minority government hide behind technicalities when it doesn't have the numbers? And he resigned and proved that so. Otherwise, he would have gone for the floor
I'll
test.
come to you with the central question I want to ask the BJP today. But let me give the Shiv Sena Uddhav Thackeray faction leader Sanjay Gupta also an opportunity. Sanjay Gupta, effectively, the fact that Uddhav Thackeray resigned, उन्होंने floor test ना लेने की बजाय resign करने का फैसला किया, ये backfire हुआ है उनके लिए. अगर उन्होंने politically floor test लिया होता, तो शायद उनको आज relief मिलता. Looks like I have lost him. Anyways, I'll try and go back across to him. But Nalin Kohli, can
I come for one sentence?
Yes, Nalin Kohli, I have a follow-up question for you. Yes, go ahead.
Again?
Yeah.
Just let me answer that because that's important. It's a good question. That's why I want to take it for a moment. You say, had he not resigned, he may have got from the Honorable Supreme Court relief. Pause. Had he not resigned, he would not have passed the floor test. And he would not have been Chief Minister. How could the Supreme Court then have given him something? So if you ask me whether he resigned or he did not resign, he couldn't have been the Chief Minister, period.
Okay, very quickly, Nalin Kohli, I have 30 seconds only. Could you please answer the question which many of your political opponents raised, that you use governors to your advantage in states where it's favorable to you? That's the sense that comes out because of the observations of the court, regardless of what the final outcome is.
That's been an argument against governors from as far as I can remember. It's been against the government of Nehru, Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Narasimha Rao, continues. That's a common argument. So therefore, it's not exclusive to us. So as far as I'm concerned, end of it, judicial review is there. People who are aggrieved by a decision approach the court. What finally matters is what the Honorable Court holds.
Okay, stay with me. I have to shift across to a couple of events that are taking place in Pakistan. There's high drama that is playing out. This is because of Imran Khan's arrest, and then Imran Khan has now reached Supreme Court, where his fate is going to be decided. A lot of drama is unfolding in Pakistan too. You can see the kind of security presence that is also on the streets because of a lot of chaos that has transpired in the last couple of days. And PTI supporters have gone on a rampage almost across sectors in Pakistan, attacking high-profile installations, military, army installations, residences of top officers, etc. So these are the images now coming in from Pakistan, where Imran Khan has just entered the Supreme Court, we are being told. Of course, his party and Imran Khan have challenged the lower court's order where they deemed his arrest legal. And of course, he's been detained into custody as well. My colleague Siddhant is joining us. Siddhant, give us an update on what's exactly happening at the Supreme Court in Pakistan.
Well, this was a moment. This was something which Imran Khan was expecting. His supporters were expecting. Because, till now, if he was out, if he was enjoying protection, then that was only because of Supreme Court and multiple cases that have been slapped against him. Now, in this particular case, on first day, Islamabad High Court ordered calling his arrest legal. Then he couldn't get a relief from a lower court. He also couldn't get relief from the Supreme Court yesterday because of some clerical error in his petition. But now, this is a moment which Imran Khan has been waiting. And in fact, again, his legal team moved Supreme Court challenging the order of the Islamabad High Court calling the arrest legal. And today, a brief hearing has taken place in the Supreme Court already, in which Chief Justice came down heavily on this entire procedure of Imran Khan's arrest, where the lawyers and the court staff got injured. And in fact, the Rangers broke the window pane, the doors of the court, and judge also made a commentary that a court is a place to surrender, to submit yourself. How can there be an arrest made from the court premises? So that was also a concern which was raised by the judge. Then the Chief Justice ordered the authorities in Pakistan to present Imran Khan in 1 hour. And then authorities had no other option but to present Imran Khan between.
So
now,
what's set to be decided? Siddhant, what is set to be decided as Imran Khan enters the Supreme Court in Pakistan?
Yes, so the entire area has been cordoned off, and his convoy is being guarded by it's a Pakistani Ranger convoy which has brought him to the court. And you know, there is a heavy police deployment. Section 144 has already been in place. His supporters have been kept away from the court premises. And in fact, you know, there were multiple calls given by a PTI cadre to their supporters to gather in Pakistan, in Islamabad outside the court premises, and in fact in Lahore outside his residence. So keeping that in mind, you know, the authorities are taking utmost precaution so that there should not be any law and order trouble around the court premises. Now the hearing has begun. This is what we are getting to know, and Imran Khan is inside the courtroom. This is perhaps for the first time that Chief Justice of Pakistan is going to speak directly to him.
All right, we'll go back across to Siddhant in just a bit. So basically, the court has frowned upon the manner in which Imran Khan was arrested a couple of days ago. Remember, he had presented himself for a case hearing, and then Pakistani agencies had swooped inside the court and arrested him. The manner in which he was pushed and you know, thrown into a car was also caught on camera and has obviously fumed his supporters. And the court then has asked the anti-corruption watchdog to produce Imran Khan this evening. And that is why this has happened. There's been a delay actually of a couple of hours. He was supposed to be produced by around 5 p.m. Now he's entered the court premises. And it looks like the very question of his arrest is up for deliberation before the Supreme Court. Whether his arrest was right, wrong, legal, illegal, the manner in which he was arrested was right or wrong. So Siddhant is back with us. Siddhant, if I have it correctly, the Supreme Court is looking into the very question of his arrest. If Imran Khan's arrest was legal or not.
Yes, absolutely. Because the order which came from the Islamabad High Court called his arrest legal, and because of which only the proceedings went ahead in the lower courts, in the magistrate court. Now, PTI had moved Supreme Court challenging the Islamabad High Court's order. So there are multiple grounds which have been prepared by Imran's legal team. The one ground says that when Imran Khan was in the judicial complex to appear in one of the cases, then what was the point of arresting him then? Then the points have also been raised in the petition, in the manner in which the arrest has been made, where his own people, the lawyers, the court staff got injured, and in a very dramatic way, in a very undemocratic way, he was arrested. So all those points have been mentioned in the petition, and in fact, judge has taken cognizance of those points, and in fact, in a brief hearing which took place this afternoon, judge came down heavily on the way the arrest has been made, and judge said that the courts there should not be any arrest from the courts. Courts are the place where people come to surrender.
We have some big breaking news coming in. It's confirmed that the Supreme Court in Pakistan has ordered to release Imran Khan, former Pakistan Prime Minister. They have deemed Imran Khan's arrest illegal. So this is a massive, massive relief coming in for Imran Khan at the hands of the Supreme Court of Pakistan, despite facing a setback earlier with the High Court. Iftikhar Chaudhary is a representative of the PTI, Imran Khan's party, is also joining us. Iftikhar ji, can you hear me?
जी मैं सुन रहा हूँ, ये खुशखबरी आप ही के जरिए मैं सुन रहा हूँ।
जी, हमें अभी ये खबर मिली है कि इमरान खान के अरेस्ट को इलीगल डीम किया गया है। ये पाकिस्तान मीडिया बोल रही है, उन्हें अब छोड़ने के लिए ऑर्डर दिए जाएंगे।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, देखें ये इलीगल था। ये पाकिस्तान इन लोगों ने इस पाकिस्तान को बनाना रिपब्लिक बना दिया था। कोर्ट के अंदर एक बंदा जो सरेंडर कर रहा है कोर्ट के सामने, उसको बायोमेट्रिक के लिए अंगूठा लगाने के लिए ले गए, उसको उठा के उसी व्हील चेयर से फेंका गया। ये कितनी बड़ी तौहीन थी इन अदालतों की। शुक्र है आज फिर सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ पाकिस्तान ने अपनी आबरू बचा ली।
नहीं इफ्तिकार जी, एक सेकंड रुके इफ्तिकार जी। आई थिंक देयर इज ए फर्दर क्लैरिफिकेशन दैट इज कमिंग ऑन दिस. The fact that Imran Khan was arrested is being deemed illegal by the Supreme Court because Imran Khan was already making himself available and presenting himself in front of court. So I think the court is saying कि उनको arrest करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं थी, इसलिए ये illegal है। लेकिन शायद उनको छोड़ा ना जाए क्योंकि केस भी बहुत सीरियस है उनके खिलाफ।
देखिए सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने जब इलीगल करार दे दिया तो वो तो बिल्कुल उनको छोड़ना पड़ेगा। हाँ, अलबत्ता कोर्ट इसको फर्दर प्रोसीड करती है तो चलेगा। ये इससे पहले कई दफा जब ये केस था तो इमरान खान पहुंचे अदालतों में, तो उस वक्त ये केस क्यों नहीं उन्होंने उठाया? ये बड़ी एक ज्यादती की है। ये पाकिस्तान के लोगों के 70 लोगों का जो है शहादतें हुई हैं। ये बिल्कुल कोर्ट अभी उनके कातलों को हम लाएंगे कटहरे में। क्यों मारे गए लोग? जमहूरियत की तलाश में 70 लोगों का मरना क्या छोटी बात है? क्या मांगा था हमने इलेक्शन ही तो मांगे थे। हमने ये तो नहीं मांगा था, वो कहते हैं कि कैद मांगी थी, रहाई तो नहीं मांगी थी। हमने इसी दौर में जमहूरियत के नाम के ऊपर ये कुर्बानियां, हमें अपने बच्चे याद हैं, कल किसी को लाश भी नहीं उठाने दी जा रही थी। हम मिसाल देते हैं इंडिया की, मकबूजा कश्मीर की और वहाँ इसराइल की। क्या ऐसे होता है? ये दुनिया में किसी जगह नहीं होता। ये दुनिया में किसी जगह भी नहीं होते कि जानबूझ के अपने इलाकों पे हमला कराओ।
कुछ नारेबाजी और कुछ सेलिब्रेशंस हो रही हैं पाकिस्तान सुप्रीम कोर्ट में। ये जियो टीवी से हमें विजुअल्स मिल रहे हैं एंड देयर हैज बीन सम ड्रामेटिक विजुअल्स दैट हैव कम इन both from 2 days ago when Imran Khan was swooped upon and arrested inside court premises, and now you can see it has effectively turned into a political battleground. You can see possibly what looks like lawyers doing some sloganeering outside the Supreme Court building, where a favorable order has come in for Imran Khan. Not only has the Pakistan Supreme Court come down very heavily on the manner in which the former Pakistan Prime Minister was arrested, but they've also deemed his arrest illegal. I'm waiting for some further confirmation on what happens to him next. But there is obviously, morally at least right now, huge relief for him. I believe his arrest has been declared null and void. What happens to him next? Will he be set free or will he remain in custody? We don't know. Let's also go across to Managing Editor Zaka Jacob now joining us. Zaka, what happens to Imran Khan next?
So he has to be released. That's what the Pakistan Supreme Court has said. The Pakistan Supreme Court has said that no person, whether it's Imran Khan or anyone else, should be arrested from the premises of a court, whether it's a high court or a lower court or the Supreme Court. Mr. Imran Khan was arrested yesterday when he presented himself at the Islamabad High Court. The Supreme Court saying that when a person presents himself, that means he or she is ready to cooperate with the investigating authorities, with the legal process as it were. The fact that the Rangers broke a glass of that building to reach Imran Khan, then take him into custody and then take him into a federal detention center, the Pakistan Supreme Court has come down heavily on the actions of the Shahbaz Sharif government and ordered Imran Khan's release. Now, what this means is two things politically. Straight away, Imran Khan can claim both a political pedestal as well as a moral pedestal. And of course, he's got the legal backing of the Supreme Court to claim that his arrest was unfair and illegal, as has been deemed by the highest court of the land. Two, what this also means, Shivani, is it really paints the army, and indeed the civilian government, no doubt, but the army in very, very poor light. Because here you have the constitutional authorities in Pakistan, the Supreme Court no less, coming down hard on all of those officers, whether it was from the civilian government side or from the army side, who gave the go-ahead for his arrest. At the end of the day, the Pakistan Rangers are a federal agency. They are not, answerable to the Punjab government or the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa government. They are answerable to the federal government of Pakistan, and clearly somebody in the federal government had given instructions to the Rangers to break the glass and arrest Imran Khan while he was present in the Islamabad High Court premises yesterday.
Right.
The Supreme Court has now come down like a ton of bricks on the Shahbaz Sharif government as well as on the army. In a sense, the gauntlet has been thrown at both of them.
How they respond will be interesting to watch.
And you know, because now we believe reports are coming in that Imran Khan has to be released shortly. Given these are shots coming in from inside the Supreme Court in Pakistan. You can see, I think that is Imran Khan in the visuals. That's Imran Khan in the visuals. He's been surrounded by a number of security personnel and supporters. He's walking inside what seems to be the Supreme Court building in Pakistan. Big order coming in his relief that has asked for the government to release Imran Khan shortly. His arrest has been deemed illegal and therefore null and void. Zaka, the other question I wanted to ask you was, as we stay with these visuals, is that what happens on the streets of Pakistan now?
No, obviously this is going to be hugely celebrated by the PTI workers. You can expect Mr. Imran Khan to come out of the Supreme Court premises, perhaps hold a rally. He's going to be like a political messiah now, no doubt about it. In any case, even before the events that unfolded yesterday, Imran Khan was by far the most popular political personality in Pakistan, no doubt about it. I mean, he was towering over the likes of a Shahbaz Sharif or a Bilawal Bhutto or an Asif Zardari. Now, the events of yesterday have completely vindicated what he's been claiming all along, that this corrupt government of the PDM is out to get him, that he's the guy who's sort of railing and ranting against the system, the corrupt system. He's the outsider who's trying to fix the system, and because he was trying to fix the system has turned against him, whether it's the army or the civilian government. Now he will come out like some kind of political Goliath. I mean, there'll be no stopping Imran Khan. Even the army will be forced to respond to his demands, because ultimately public opinion cannot be kept, under clamped down for an indefinite period of time. Yes, the violence might subside, but ultimately, politically speaking, Imran Khan now is leagues above the rest of the political class. And frankly, I think his fight has been with the army, not so much with the PDM. He's thrown the gauntlet at the army, and he's emerged as a much, much bigger figure than anybody in the army.
The question I was asking you, Zaka, was also more pertaining to the very violent, chaotic situation that's prevailing on the streets. Given that the PTI supporters are going to be emboldened by the release of Imran Khan, do you think that it will become incumbent on him, given what we've seen over the last 2 days, to ask his supporters to calm down and not indulge in violence and arson?
Yeah, possibly. When he addresses his supporters, as and when he addresses the nation, of course, he will likely put that message of, peace and unity and, don't attack public institutions. But even otherwise, I mean, the incentive for them to do so or indulge in violent behavior is far less now that their leader has been released. I mean, what they were so agitated about was the fact that they felt that he was illegally detained when he had come to cooperate with the investigating authorities, when he had voluntarily presented himself at the Islamabad High Court premises. Him being arrested from a court premises was almost unheard of, and they were very agitated by that fact. Now that the Supreme Court, the appellate court, the ultimate court of constitutional court in Pakistan, has decided that they will release Imran Khan forthwith, I think definitely the PTI supporters of Mr. Imran Khan can claim vindication. There is going to be jubilation, absolutely no doubt about it. Like I said, Imran Khan will appear as some kind of political larger-than-life figure. The question is, how may the army choose to respond? Because they have to call for elections. They can't dilly-dally on that for far too long. And B, they do know that if and when elections are called, whether they are called today or 3 months or 6 months from now, Imran Khan will be, if not the single largest party, but possibly even win a majority on his own. So how do they reconcile the fact that the most popular and powerful political entity in Pakistan is at loggerheads with the most powerful institution in Pakistan?
But Zaka, speaking of this relief too, nothing really stops from the NAB from arresting Imran Khan again, because effectively what the Supreme Court has said, that the manner in which you arrested him, or there was no need to arrest him there and then like that. But if there is this case ongoing with him, could he not face an arrest again?
Well, look, given the absolutely dramatic manner and nature in which the Supreme Court has come down like a ton of bricks on the NAB, on the civilian government, on even the Islamabad High Court, I doubt if he will be arrested again. Yes, there will be conditions imposed. He will have to cooperate with the authorities. And if he has to be arrested again, then demonstrably the investigating authorities, whether it's NAB or any other agency, will have to demonstrably show that he was not cooperating with the investigating authorities. And only after that would they think of arresting
Zaka,
him
just
again?
hold your thought. Asma Chaudhary is a Pakistani journalist joining us over the phone line. Asma, we believe that Imran Khan has to be released shortly. Could you give us some updates of what you're hearing?
Yes, the Supreme Court of Pakistan just ordered that the Imran Khan's arrest warrant is illegal and he can now...
Unfortunately, we've lost that link. But the reports that are coming in, Zaka, from Pakistan do tell us that the Chief Justice has also asked Imran Khan to ensure that his supporters stop the rioting and the rampage.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that becomes incumbent certainly on Imran Khan because, you know, they are doing this, I wouldn't say at his behest, but they are doing this because they are aggrieved that their leader has been arrested in the fashion that he was. But here's the thing, Imran Khan will have to cooperate with the investigating authorities. I believe he's been asked to be present before the Islamabad High Court tomorrow in the case of the Al-Qadir Trust, where him and his wife Bushra Bibi are accused of corruption to the tune of 50 billion pounds, which the NAB's case is they siphoned off and gave land to a powerful real estate tycoon, Riaz Malik. And that land was supposed to set up, was being given to him to set up a private educational institution, a university. None of that came up. So the contention of the NAB was that money was basically kickbacks given to Imran Khan, his supporters in the PTI, and his wife Bushra Bibi, who happens to be one of the trustees of the Al-Qadir Trust. Now, he has to present himself before the Islamabad High Court tomorrow. He has to cooperate with the investigating authorities, and the investigation will continue. Excuse me. What has happened today is that the Supreme Court has said there is no need to arrest anyone if he or she is presenting himself or herself before the authorities for investigation and cooperating with the authorities during the course of that investigation. I think that is a very, very clear and resounding message to the National Accountability Bureau, to the Pakistan Rangers, to the army, to the civilian government, that you can go ahead and do whatever is required legally within the remit of the law, not do something that can be construed as outside the statutory books. Yesterday's arrest, when a person was presenting himself, cooperating with the investigating authorities, and that too arrested from the premises of a high court, that is something that the Supreme Court has taken exception to.
Zaka, the other question that comes to mind, just give me a second. Yeah, so Zaka, the other question that comes to mind is, there are, I believe his lawyer had told CNN News18, there are 150 cases against Imran Khan. Now, do you believe the army and the present government will back off, so as to say, or are they going to keep the pressure up on Imran Khan, if not on one case, then on another?
Of course, you know, over 100 cases have been filed. There will be pressure on Imran Khan, no doubt about it. Ultimately, look, the political objective of the PDM government, and I dare say, you know, powerful sections within the army, is to ensure that Imran Khan does not get to contest the next election. That is the ultimate objective, because they know that if Imran Khan contests the next election, he will win. There is simply no way you can stop his victory, because he is, like I said, by far the tallest political persona in Pakistan right now. What the PDM wants to ensure, what powerful sections in the army want to ensure, is that Imran Khan does not get to stand in the next election by hook or crook. He is disqualified. And possibly also, I'm sure there is some vested interest there. They want to get Nawaz Sharif back into the country and possibly get him to stand for the Prime Ministerial elections sometime later this year, because the PMLN feels that he was unfairly ousted and illegally thrown out of the country into exile, first in Saudi Arabia and then subsequently in London, on trumped up or framed charges, as it were. So in a sense, the PMLN sees this as some kind of a comeuppance for Imran Khan. But the problem is, and the difference is, that Imran Khan's popularity currently in Pakistan is way, way more than anything that Nawaz Sharif has seen in his active political career.
Yes. And of course, this whole episode of arresting him in the manner that it happened, the visuals spoke a lot. And then, of course, this relief has only emboldened his supporters and possibly even Imran Khan. The other day, the ruling party called it the worst form of demagoguery. Now, if that is to be correct, he's become an even bigger demagogue because of this entire episode. And because he has stayed in the country, faced arrest, faced even an assassination attempt, his legend is only growing, Zaka. And we have to wait and see whether the government or the army tries any other tricks, or whether legally or otherwise to ensure that they can put him behind bars? I think that's the other big question in front of them now.
Absolutely. So I'm reasonably sure that, you know, this is just a temporary reprieve for Imran Khan. Ultimately, in one or the other case, he will have to be arrested and he will be kept in some form of incarceration for a foreseeable period of time. Whether that's a corruption case or a blasphemy case, I believe one of the cases that's been filed against him is for blasphemy, which is, of course, very serious charges in Pakistan. So ultimately, he will be sent to jail. He will be incarcerated for a period of time. Like I said, the political objective of the PDM government and that of the army is to ensure that Imran Khan is discredited, that politically he becomes a persona non grata, and most importantly, that he is not allowed, he's disqualified in some form or fashion from contesting the upcoming election.
Zaka, stay with me. Shiraz Hassan is a Pakistani journalist joining us. Shiraz, if you can hear me, how big of a relief do you think this is for Imran Khan, and what is he likely to do next?
Well, thank you very much for taking me. Well, this is such a big relief for the ex-Prime Minister of Imran Khan along with his party persons, because we have seen that today they have announced actually a shutdown strike and wheel jam strike, but unfortunately the workers were not out because majority of them either they have been arrested or they are at large because of the number of cases which has been registered against them. So it's such a big relief, and today the Supreme Court, the petition was filed the day before yesterday, and today Supreme Court was in a hearing, directed the government to present Imran Khan in the court, and he was presented after 1.5 hours, and there after a small argument, the Chief Justice of Pakistan, Mr. Justice Umar Ata Bandiya, declared that the arrest of Imran Khan from the Islamabad High Court 2 days back was illegal, and he was immediately ordered to release Imran Khan. However, he has also directed Mr. Khan to appear to the Islamabad High Court again in the same case of that Abdul Qadir Trust corruption case. And so far, the PTA workers, they are in a jubilation. We have seen the workers who have actually, you know, present in some areas of Islamabad, in Peshawar, Karachi, and Lahore, where they are just blocked different roads there. They are now jubilating over there. As Imran Khan is supposed to be appearing in Islamabad High Court, so far it hasn't been decided because majority of his Tier 1 and Tier 2 leadership, it has also been arrested. And they are in the custody of different provinces.
Yes, what happens to those leaders? I'll come back to you, Shiraz, on that. Iftikhar Chaudhary is a PTI leader joining us. Iftikhar ji, ये अब जो इतना राइटिंग हो रहा था और पीटीआई के सपोर्टर्स बिल्डिंग्स को अटैक कर रहे थे, जला रहे थे, ये तो अब बंद होगा या नहीं होगा?
देखिए, मैं शुरू से कह रहा हूँ, मेरा आपके कारण हुई 2 दिन के हमारे वाइस कैप्टन शाह महमूद कुरैशी, हमारे जो नाब पंजाब के प्रेसिडेंट है अहमद महमूद कियानी, खुद मैं इसकी मजम्मत करते हैं। हमने नहीं किया, खुदा के लिए सोचें, ये जानबूझ के लोग उतरे।
नहीं, आपके बहुत सारे पीटीआई लीडर्स ने वीडियो अपील्स करी थी इमरान खान के अरेस्ट के बाद कि आप सड़क पे उतरें। उसका क्या मतलब होता है? चलिए वो बात चली गई, बट मैं ये कह रही हूँ कि पाकिस्तान सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने कहा है कि जो राइटिंग हो रही है वो बंद होनी चाहिए। तो आपको लगता है कि अब आपके सपोर्टर्स को थोड़ा संभलना होगा?
होना चाहिए। आज पाकिस्तान में जमहूरियत जिंदा हुई है। एक डिक्टेटर का पाकिस्तान कभी भी एक खट्टे के लिए ठीक नहीं है। ये खुशी में शामिल होइए हमारे, मुझे मुबारकबाद दीजिए। मैं आपको मुबारकबाद देता हूँ कि जमहूरियत जीती है
जी। अभी इमरान खान
अदालतें जीती है।
अभी इमरान खान अब क्या करेंगे? अगला स्टेप उनका क्या होगा, आपका, उनका और आपकी पार्टी का?
वो जाएंगे ज़मान पार्क जाएंगे, वो लाहौर जाएंगे और अपने लोगों का शुक्रिया अदा करेंगे जो खैबर से लेकर कराची तक जिन्होंने उनके लिए आवाज उठाई। बाकी हम मजम्मत करते हैं कि जो इनके लोग हमारे लोगों के दरमियान आके देखें, क्या कभी GHQ में 4 बंदे अंदर दाखिल हो सकते हैं? क्या आप समझते हैं पाकिस्तान की फौज, हमारी फौज जो है इतनी कमजोर है? क्या हुआ? ये जानबूझ के सारा कुछ हुआ ताकि हमारी पार्टी को ये करार दिया जाए कि टेररिस्ट पार्टी है। हमने तो आज तक ये टेररिज्म आपने देखा है, इमरान खान ने 1000 दफा कहा कश्मीर के अंदर जो है इस तरह दरअंदाजी नहीं होनी चाहिए, कश्मीरियों की जिंदगी मुश्किल हो जाएगी। और मेरे सामने मुझे
इफ्तिखार जी मेरे साथ बने रहिए। आई वांट टू गो अक्रॉस टू हामिद खान, who's a Pakistani journalist, also joining us live now. Hamid Khan, this is a massive relief coming in. But I want to understand from you, how do you see the response from the army and the federal government now? What are they likely to do? Are they going to back off because of this embarrassment at the hands of the Supreme Court, or could they double down? and arrest him again? Hamidji, could you unmute yourself?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I'm saying I think it is a great relief for Imran Khan, and it was expected earlier in the day as well, the way, Supreme Court started their proceedings and the way Islamabad High Court took the notice of that illegal arrest within the premises of the court. So, I mean, it was a quite anticipated decision by the court to call it an illegal arrest and terminate this arrest of Imran Khan. While on the other hand, government will not back off easily, to be honest, because if you look at the information minister's press conference just about an hour ago and the other, press conference, I think they're gonna try to, confront this decision by the Supreme Court, and they will try to put some other cases on Imran Khan. But it is a great temporary relief for Imran Khan, and we can see that the public is very happy. And I think all the stakeholders should take wise decision, should think about the country, and there should not be any more violence or confrontation.
Yes. Hamid Khan, just stay with me. I'll come back to you on the situation that has prevailed in Pakistan over the last 2 days. But we've got some more breaking updates coming in. Now, after this relief by the Supreme Court in Pakistan to Imran Khan, top military leadership, we are being told, is set to meet soon in Pakistan. The army chief has summoned DG ISI, DG MI, CGS and other top commanders. So that's the latest that is coming in. Of course, this decision has come as a bit of an embarrassment for the army and the ruling government. And Pakistan, former Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan has been making some of the most boldest decisions and statements against the army in Pakistan. Hamid Khan, I want to come back to you on this. How do you see, as you were saying, the army is, we're being told the top officials are to meet. Now, the court today has said the manner in which Imran Khan was arrested was illegal and there was no need for it. But this is a serious case of corruption. There are 150 other cases against him. Do you sense that he could be arrested again on one case, in one case or another?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I have a very much fear of Imran Khan getting arrested again. That is for sure. Second thing is, I believe that I think there should be some reconciliation between the political parties, and it is a time to think about the current economical situation of the country and call for the election rather than going for any further political chaos or turmoil, which country cannot afford. So I think so. Whatever happened in last 48 hours is not good for the country. We have seen it, whether it was, whether it was done by the PTI supporters or whether it was done the people who are, who are representing some other elements to incite the situation.
Okay.
So, I mean, there are always, enemy factors. There are all other factors we have to consider.
Okay.
So I think now the stakeholders has to think about that it is a time when sense must prevail.
Okay, I'll come back to you, Hamid Khan. Iftikhar Chaudhary of the PTI is still with me. Iftikhar ji, क्या आपको भी ये डर है कि इमरान खान को दोबारा अरेस्ट किया जा सकता है?
मेरा ख्याल है इस फैसले के बाद अदालतों को ये पता चल चुका है कि जब भी अवामी सपोर्ट और अच्छी सपोर्ट मिले तो फैसले इस तरह नहीं करने चाहिए जैसे इस्लामाबाद कोर्ट ने किए, कि उसके अंदर से बंदा गिरफ्तार किया जिसने अपने आप को सरेंडर किया और वहां पे वो थंब इम्प्रेशन करा रहा है, उसके पास पहुंचा है, उसने कहा मैं हूं। तो किस तरह का फैसला इस्लामाबाद हाई कोर्ट ने किया, ये उनके मुंह के ऊपर भी एक कम से कम एक, मैं ये नहीं कहूंगा कि तमाचा है, मैं ये नहीं कहना चाहता, बट देयर इज ए लेसन कि पिशावर से लेकर तक के लोगों ने एक जैसी आवाज उठाई और चंद शरपसंद इन्होंने खुद भेजे अपने इसको पार्टी हमारी को कि ये इसको खत्म किया जाए, इसको टेररिस्ट पार्टी किया जाए। कोई नहीं माना, किसी ने नहीं माना, किसी एक
इफ्तिखार जी, आपकी जो लड़ाई आर्मी इस्टेब्लिशमेंट से चल रही है, इमरान खान ने जो लड़ाई शुरू करी है तो वो तो बहुत सीरियस लड़ाई है। हमने देखा है कि पाकिस्तान में आर्मी से ऊपर तो कुछ भी नहीं है। तो आपको क्या लगता है अब आर्मी कैसे रिस्पॉन्ड करेगी इसको?
देखिए, आर्मी क्या, हमने आर्मी के खिलाफ हुआ है? ये तो चंद दो एक दाने हैं जो उनके खिलाफ बात हुई है।
अच्छा।
आपको पता नहीं कि आर्मी के अंदर भी लोगों के कोर्ट मार्शल होते हैं। हमारे ब्रिगेडियर को सजाए मौत सुनाई गई कि वो ठीक नहीं था, वो उसने पाकिस्तान से वो बेचे थे जर्मनी में। तो ये तो आर्मी में 1, 2, 4 से होते हैं।
जी। Iftikhar ji, stay with me. Iftikhar ji, stay with me. I've got some more updates coming in. This is via the Pakistani media, which is now quoting Imran Khan after the big verdict that has come as a relief for him. They're reporting that Imran Khan has said, he has revealed that he was beaten with lathi when he was arrested. So these are obviously charges and claims that are going to inflame the situation. His supporters are not going to look very kindly at this report that is coming in, where Imran Khan himself has talked about being beaten with a lathi. Now, who did that exactly, we don't know. But Iftikhar Chaudhary, let me take your reaction first up. Ashok Sajjanhar, former Indian diplomat, is also joining us. Iftikhar Chaudhary, आपका क्या response है? इमरान खान कह रहे हैं कि उनको मारा गया है.
देखें, ये जो चीज है, ये इनके शुरू से जालिमों को ये कहते हैं कि आपका काम नहीं है किसी को मारें, चाहे नवाज शरीफ हो उसको मारें या किसी और को मारें, ये काम आपका नहीं है। हम लीडर हैं, हम ये लोग हैं हमारे, इनसे हम प्यार करते हैं, आपसे भी हम प्यार करते हैं। जिस किसी ने मारा है खुदा उसके हाथ तोड़े। हम ये तो नहीं कहते कि उनके मुकाबले में आके खड़े होंगे, लेकिन इमरान खान के है ये हमें बहुत अफसोस है। लेकिन इस वक्त अफसोस से ज्यादा खुशी ये है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने एक ऐसा फैसला दिया है जिससे पाकिस्तान की जमहूरियत एकदम सर उठा के खड़ी होगी। हम तो इंतहाई एक मतलब बनाना रिपब्लिक के जो होता है उसमें घुसे हुए थे कि ये लोग खुद ही हमला करवाते हैं, खुद ही अपने आप को कहते हैं कि वहां पे चले जाओ। मेरे पास एक ऐसी वीडियो है जिसमें बंदा है वो खुद जाता है पुलिस का डंडा लेके और अंदर जाके उनके घरों में मारता है, उनकी गाड़ियों को मारता है।
Okay, okay. You are saying that the violence that we saw in Pakistan was also false flag to represent the PTI badly. Iftikhar Chaudhary, thanks a lot for joining us. We're getting more updates coming in from Pakistan via Pakistan media and our own sources. Our investigations editor Manoj Gupta is also giving us more information on what Imran Khan is saying. And I believe he has told the Supreme Court that he doesn't want any violence, he wants elections. But his political opponents want him to be booked for instigating violence in Pakistan, and there has been unprecedented violence. Ashok Sajjanhar is former Indian diplomat joining us. Mr. Sajjanhar, how do you see this progressing now? What happens to this battle between Imran Khan and the rest?
Yeah, thank you very much, Shivani. You know, the way I look upon it is that both these sides have really burnt their bridges. And it is very difficult, if not absolutely impossible, for the army and for the establishment to go back. And, you know, we've seen that there are more than 120 charges that have been leveled against Imran Khan. There are so many cases that are pending. I think it will be absolutely impossible for the army to release Imran Khan at this moment. Because as it is, the you know, the tempers are very, very high. We've seen what has been happening over the last 3 days. And, you know, even the sort of words that have been used by the army when they were criticizing the action taken by the PTI supporters, they said what our eternal enemy was not able to do to us for 75 years. These terrorists of PTI have done it to us. So I think it is absolutely impossible for them. So, and second point here, Shivani, also to be noted is that the Supreme Court we have seen in Pakistan is highly politicized. We have seen it in the earlier case also when it was elections for Punjab and KPK. They said that, you know, they had given suo moto. They had announced a date for the elections, and then the government of Shehbaz Sharif and the parliament, they went back and said, you know, it cannot be done, we cannot prepare it, and so on and so forth. And this is not the task of the Supreme Court to start giving out these dates. So, you know, Supreme Court is highly politicized. Maybe it will go back to the parliament, it will go back to the establishment, it will go back to the army. I am quite convinced that, Imran Khan will not be allowed to go scot-free.
But, you know, this was going to be my next question to you, Ashok Sajjanha. The court has come down very heavily. And they're saying you have to release him immediately. Now, I understand the concern that you're bringing up, that if you release him, given his supporters going on a rampage earlier, even in a celebratory mood, you don't know what's going to happen. But they have to release him.
No, that's in a manner of speaking, that is true. But then they can book him under some other charge, because we have seen, even as far as the courts are concerned, Supreme Court is totally behind Imran Khan, come what may. It's like the president of the country. Also, when 1 year ago Imran Khan was to leave his position, he would not sign that document. You recall, that is not far away, that is fresh in our memories. So because he was the one, the president is the one who owes his allegiance to Imran Khan, and he owes his position to Imran Khan. So he would not do it. Similarly is the case as far as the Supreme Court is concerned. They will not do anything or say anything. Now, the cases can go to Islamabad High Court, and from there maybe, some sort of a decision can come out. Maybe, all these possibilities. I guess the Pakistani legal experts would be able to know better. But I'm giving you the overall political perspective that I have of the situation. And that is that it will be suicidal for both Shahbaz Sharif as well as the army.
And, you mentioned Ashok Sajjanha, just stay with me because we're getting some big update coming in, and this really tells you of how the battle lines are drawn in Pakistan, politically and otherwise. Maryam Nawaz Sharif has now said, and I quote, the CJP, and she means the Chief Justice of Pakistan, should leave the post and join PTI under Imran Khan. So they have made the first big direct charge at the Chief Justice of Pakistan, the Supreme Court, about being partisan. And Ashok Sajjanha, you were referring to exactly this. Politically, it seems this is going to be taken up.
No, absolutely. I think it's going to be taken up because really the establishment and the army has its back to the wall. They were trying to sort of, get some space for themselves, by making this very strong statement from the army that came. I sort of, mentioned a few phrases from that, meaning terming India as the eternal enemy. I think going forward, that is also something that we in India need to keep in mind, those who are trying to promote this Aman Ki Asha and light lamps and all that sort of things. The army considers India to be the eternal enemy. And they say the eternal enemy has not been able to do this to us. And it is the PTI terrorists who have done this. So I think they were really also, there might be sort of, there have been talk of so many conspiracy theories that even the PTI supporters were led on to sort of, go to the GHQ in Pindi or to the Corps Commander house in Lahore, etc., etc. But the fact is that all these cameras, etc., would have taken the images of all those who were involved, and that can definitely be used as evidence, as proof of treason against them. And of course, Imran Khan, when he was going for his fingerprinting, etc., for his biometrics, he had said that this is the time for all of you to come onto the streets and not stay at home. So, for instigation of all these activities, he can definitely be booked under some charge or the other. But I'm giving just, this politically, that both these sides have dug themselves into such positions that it is absolutely impossible for them to get out of it. Now, Imran Khan, through the Chief Justice of Pakistan, has fired this fresh salvo. And now we'll have to see what are the how the other side responds to it, how the army responds to it. As far as you would have heard the statement by Shahbaz Sharif also, he was addressing...
Stay with us. There's the piece of news that is coming in now is that the Supreme Court has turned down the request of Imran Khan to go to his home in Banigala. He will be in police lines. If he has been released, then why has this request been turned down? Why should he stay in police lines?
Hello?
Yes.
Sorry.
Yes, Ambassador Sajjanha, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, no, what I was saying is that there might be some caveat to, we have not seen the full order that has been given, that has been passed by the Chief Justice of Pakistan. There might be some caveat that, he must be released immediately, but then there is something else that needs to go on in parallel, and for that he needs to stay in the police lines. I'm not fully certain, but otherwise, if he is to be released immediately, unconditionally, then of course there can be no, any restrictions that can be placed on his movement or his, wherever he wants to go home.
So we are yet to really look at the larger picture here. What are the conditions of Imran Khan's release? Whether he's allowed to go everywhere, or are there certain conditions? Because the details. Yes, the details that are coming in from Manoj Gupta, who's our investigations editor and tracks Pakistan very closely, is that Imran Khan will be kept at police lines guest house in Islamabad, and Islamabad High Court will be hearing Imran Khan's case at 11 p.m. Pakistan Standard Time. So as far as this case is concerned, or the legal battle for Imran Khan is concerned, it's far from over, Kamar Chima. How should we be looking at the fact that there is a relief coming for Imran Khan, but he cannot really step out and go home? Mr. Chima.
The moment, yes, it's for me.
Yes.
Well, what I find out so far is that that Imran Khan is not going to get any kind of relief. What we have come to know, the developing story is that if he's going to be taken into the police custody, or he's to be into the police hotel or something, into the facility, it means that tomorrow, what the Chief Justice has said is that tomorrow you have to appear to the court, one thing. Second, you have to accept what the High Court Islamabad says you. And remember, High Court Islamabad already confirmed that the arrest of Imran Khan is legitimate. Yesterday, they gave the day Imran Khan was picked up by the Rangers, the same night the Islamabad High Court gave a verdict that the arrest is legitimate and there is no problem in that. Now the question is,